with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have a seat.
For the past year, we've seen Sheryl Swoopes relentlessly target Caitlin Clark with outlandish accusations, claiming she's a 25-year-old competing against teens, saying her rookie season lacks merit, insisting that no one wants to team up with her. The barrage of criticism felt never-ending.
Some of your peers, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
And I used, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies.
Then Sheryl Miller stepped up. The basketball legend and former Clark coach threw a knockout punch on the All the Smoke podcast, calling Swoopes a big dummy and shredding her false claims. Miller put Swoopes in check, and her defense of Caitlin Clark hints at something huge for the Indiana Fever, leaving fans buzzing.
3-time Player of the Year, 2-time National Championship, 2-time Tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Sheryl Miller.
Before we dive into Miller's take, ever wondered why a basketball legend is so focused on tearing down the WNBA's brightest new star? Let's unpack the bizarre crusade Sheryl Swoopes has waged against Caitlin Clark, from her college days to her rookie season.
Let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old.
It all started with Swoopes' wild claim that Clark was a 25-year-old playing against 20-year-olds at Iowa. In reality, Clark was 22, a typical college senior. When called out, Swoopes backpedaled, blaming COVID eligibility rules, an excuse that didn't stick.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Here we go.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
Swoopes wasn't done. She claimed Clark took 40 shots a game, labeling her a selfish shooter. The truth? Clark averaged 22.7. Ironically, Swoopes averaged 19.2 in her senior year. When Clark neared the NCAA scoring record, Swoopes shifted, questioning its legitimacy and suggesting Clark needed a 5th year to break it.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Swoopes' claim was false. Clark shattered the NCAA record in 4 years, not 5. She could have taken a 5th year due to COVID rules, but chose not to. When Clark entered the WNBA, Swoopes predicted she wouldn't dominate. Yet, Clark went on to break rookie assist records, averaging 19.2 points and 8.4 assists, winning Rookie of the Year and silencing the doubters.
Didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate that season.
Perhaps the most telling moment came when Swoopes appeared on Angel Reese's podcast, continuing to undermine Clark while claiming she didn't dislike her, a classic case of saying one thing and doing another. The basketball world took notice, and soon Swoopes was removed from broadcasting a Fever game, replaced by Nancy Lieberman. Lieberman didn't hesitate to call out the misinformation being spread about the rookie sensation.
I've known Cheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa, and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, there was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, however old, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate.
The basketball world waited for someone credible to step in, and Cheryl Miller delivered. On the All the Smoke podcast, she lit up the critics, offering one of the most authentic defenses women's basketball has seen.
I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend, and I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life.
Miller didn't just support Clark. She came with fire. Her now viral, "Come on, you big dummies," directed at critics like Swoopes, said it all. But she wasn't done. Miller passionately defended Clark's work ethic, calling out the hypocrisy with the authority of a basketball legend. She pointed out what the haters conveniently ignore.
Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
It's the uncomfortable truth critics won't admit. Clark's presence has elevated the entire league, even the paychecks of those criticizing her.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
What makes Miller's defense so powerful is that it's based on direct experience, not speculation. After coaching Clark in the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, Miller had a front-row seat to evaluate Clark beyond the highlight reels, and what she discovered even surprised her.
You recently coached the WNBA All-Star Game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is and how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a Black woman and hated because of my color.
Yeah.
I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't true, Miller said, dismantling months of media spin in a single sentence. She then went deeper, offering rare insight into what makes Clark truly special.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
Behind Miller's technical breakdown of Clark's skills is something deeper, a genuine emotional bond forged through Clark's toughest moments. When the Fever secured their first win of the 2024 season, Miller didn't just congratulate Clark. She gave her the unconditional support that few others did when the rookie needed it most.
Watching her pass, and I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version, thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be themselves.
The embrace between Miller and Clark after Indiana's first win wasn't just casual, It was a pivotal moment. Clark, battered by criticism, felt isolated. Miller recalled, "I gave her the biggest hug. When she saw me, she said, 'Finally, somebody on my side.' She was getting hit from all sides."
He was getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her. I said, "I'm so proud of you." I go, "Savor this. Use this as a formula." I said, "But keep being you." I said, "No matter what, keep being you."
In that raw, vulnerable moment, Miller didn't offer empty words. She gave Clark the kind of guidance only someone who's walked a similar path could provide. "I'm so proud of you. Savor this. Use this as a formula, but keep being you. No matter what, keep being you." These weren't just comforting words. They were a lifeline to a rookie drowning in expectations and scrutiny.
$366,000 right here. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this card. It's a good-looking card. I'm not going to lie to you. Wow, that's bananas.
Did you catch that $366,000 price on Caitlin Clark's rookie card? No, that's not a mistake. Someone actually dropped more cash on her card than most people spend on a home. This isn't just a record, it's a whole new benchmark, surpassing Serena Williams' previous record for women's sports cards. So, what's the takeaway? Caitlin Clark isn't just making waves in the WNBA, she's the wave.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, and once again, proving that she is the driving force.
The numbers don't lie. While some might downplay her impact, that $366,000 speaks volumes, louder than any critic ever could. And wait until you hear what experts predict her cards could be worth in just a few months. It's staggering.
Once again, showcasing that when it comes to everybody else, they are a distant second. Who that is for sure in women's sports, I don't know. But at this point, it's pretty clear Caitlin Clark is driving the bus and driving the sales.
So, what's behind the jaw-dropping price tag? This isn't just any Caitlin Clark card. It's a 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism rookie card, graded PSA Gem Mint 10. And here's the kicker. It's a one of one, the only card like it in existence.
Every time Caitlin Clark, one of her trading cards, one of her sports cards breaks a record, and we've got a new one, and it is freaking ridiculous. I mean, this is crazier than hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Pause and think about that for a moment. In a world where thousands of sports cards are printed daily, this one card is completely unique. It's no surprise collectors shelled out $366,000 for it. That's not just some spare change, it's life-changing money for most people.
A new record for any women's sports card. Final sale in this 2024 Panini Prism WNBA Signatures Gold Vinyl Prism Caitlin Clark signed rookie, one of one. There's only one of these in existence. It was a PSA Gem Mint 10.
Let's put this into context. Prior to Clark making her mark, the record for the highest-selling women's sports card was held by tennis icon Serena Williams, with her card fetching $266,400. What's even more impressive about Serena's card is that it included a piece of her match-worn gear. Now, Clark's card, which only features her signature and a flawless card, no jersey swatch or equipment piece, shattered Serena's record by an impressive $100,000.
We had the record for a WNBA card. This passes the record for a woman's sports card period that was previously held by a Serena Williams card, and this was sold for about $100,000 more than the Serena Williams card.
What makes this even more incredible is how fast it all happened. Clark has barely finished her rookie season, yet most athletes take years, or even their entire careers, to achieve this level of value in the collector's market. But Clark? She's rewriting the playbook faster than she sinks three-pointers.
It sold for $366 freaking $1,000. I mean, wow. What can you say about this? That almost leaves me speechless.
The card itself is a masterpiece. Its gold vinyl finish glimmers in the light, giving it an almost lifelike quality. Her signature is flawlessly positioned, and the card's immaculate condition earned it the prestigious PSA 10 grade. Any collector knows that the one-of-one label is what sends bidding wars into overdrive at auctions.
The cost of her trading cards is, again, evidence of this. And her most recent one went for a record.
But there's something much bigger at play here. This isn't just about a beautiful basketball card. Card experts see it as something far more profound. It's about owning a piece of what many consider a pivotal moment in women's sports history. People aren't just collecting a card. They're investing in a cultural revolution.
It is a 2024 Prism Gold Vinyl Rookie One-of-One Auto, which means it's autographed. One-of-one obviously means it's the only one in existence, and someone paid $366,000 for it.
Remember when Michael Jordan rookie cards skyrocketed in value? It wasn't just because they were rare. It was because people saw they were witnessing history in real time. The same thing is happening with Clark right now. Collectors aren't just betting on a rookie, they're betting on a revolution.
A new record for a female athlete. Caitlin is the needle. There we go. I think I just said that. Smashed the old record held by Serena by $100,000.
The previous owner snagged this card for $236,000 just 4 months ago. In less time than it takes most people to pay off a car loan, it surged in value by $130,000. That's not your typical appreciation. That's a financial rocket ship.
This one was $130,000 more expensive than the previous high.
What makes this card truly stand out isn't just that it's shattering price records, it's creating an entirely new market. Before Clark came along, women's sports cards barely registered on most collectors' radars. Now, they're the hottest commodity in the hobby, with dealers scrambling for inventory and collectors racing to build their Clark collections before prices soar even higher.
What is it going to be like? Look, what are these cards going to be like in 5 years when she's got a championship, a couple of MVPs in there, etc., etc.?
This meteoric rise has completely shaken up the collecting world. Shops that once tucked their WNBA boxes out of sight are now proudly showcasing them front and center. Online forums that barely acknowledged women's basketball now have entire sections dedicated to Clark cards, complete with discussions and price tracking.
I'm fairly confident we're headed towards a $500,000 card at some point. We're not that far away now. I mean, we're $140,000 away now.
Those shop owners aren't just rearranging their displays for fun. They're scrambling to keep up with history in the making. What's happening with Caitlin Clark's cards is nothing short of unprecedented. She doesn't just hold the most valuable WNBA card ever. She owns the top 30 most valuable WNBA cards in history. Let that sink in for a moment. Not just the #1 spot, but the entire top 30. Such market dominance is unheard of in any sport, male or female.
Clark has the top 30 WNBA cards, at least. So, and the boxes for WNBA cards, like the one over my shoulder, are selling at the same level or at a higher price than NBA cards because that Caitlin Clark rookie is in there.
Clark doesn't just have the top WNBA card, she has the top 30 at least. The boxes for WNBA cards, like the one sitting right here, are now selling at the same level, if not higher, than NBA card boxes, because that Caitlin Clark rookie is inside. And if you think this is just a case of collector mania, here's the real kicker. WNBA card boxes are now fetching the same prices, or even higher, than NBA boxes at many stores. This is unprecedented in sports card history. Boxes that couldn't give away a year ago are now prized treasures, with shop owners who once stashed their WNBA stock in dusty corners now showcasing them front and center. And the best part? They're still selling out within hours of hitting the shelves, breaking records as they go.
Her, Kelsey, and Aaliyah, Boston, they had something special the second half of the season, and I just look at them as a young, hungry team. Our veteran president with DeWanna Bonner, Natasha, and me coming from winning programs who have been around the league for a long time and can help infuse something in that team that can take them far in the playoffs, bruh.
Sydney Colson just dropped the bombshell on why she made the jump from the Aces to the Indiana Fever, and spoiler alert, It wasn't for the cornfields. Was it Caitlin Clark's insane three-point range? A covert operation to add some comedy to the Midwest? Or maybe just an elite-level prank? One thing's for sure, Colson never does anything without leaving a little humor in her wake.
So Sydney Colson is obviously a player for the Indiana Fever. Someone signed to be Caitlin Clark's backup, and she is I think she's going to be a solid player.
Sydney Colson finally spilled the tea on her move to the Indiana Fever, and let's just say, she didn't hold anything back. This wasn't some dull, "I'm excited for a new opportunity" speech. Nah, Colson came through with the kind of energy you'd expect from someone who's been itching to drop the details, ready to break it all down like a hyper-excited sports analyst with a comedy degree. The biggest takeaway? The Fever's glow-up is about to be straight-up terrifying.
Championship experience is a whole new thing, and then coming off the bench, backing up Caitlin Clark, helping her with little things, just the knowledge that she's going to be able to give Caitlin Clark is going to be absolutely fantastic. But why did she leave the Aces? Well, if you see some of these stats and some of this information I'm going to put out, you can be like, you're going to understand why it was time for her to go.
Now, if you blinked last season, you might have totally missed the Fever's wild turnaround. They kicked things off looking like they were just happy to be invited to the party, tripping over their own feet, spilling drinks, and forgetting defense even existed. But somewhere along the way, they decided to stop embarrassing themselves and actually play some basketball. The second half of the season, a completely different vibe. They went from, oh, bless their hearts, to, wait, are they actually good? And trust me, Colson was paying attention.
It was only a matter of time before Sydney Colson got to rubbing her hands together like Birdman to tell it all, dog. And that's exactly what she did in a recent interview. Now, we know Sydney Colson came over to the Fever from the Las Vegas Aces.
According to Colson, that comeback wasn't just a fluke. It was a warning shot. The Fever figured things out late last season, and now, with Caitlin Clark in the mix, yeah, Colson didn't hold back. This team is about to be downright terrifying. Like, hide your favorite team's playoff dreams terrifying. Like, we're taking receipts terrifying. And Colson? She was all in on the chaos.
Sydney reveal, I am very excited for this new opportunity with Indiana. I know several players and coaches from the Fever, and I trust what I know about them, Colson said. I'm excited to be a part of the vision that the staff has for this team, and I'm ready to get to work.
Let's be real, she could have stuck with the Aces, where winning feels like a given at this point. But where's the fun in that? That's like playing a video game on easy mode. Colson wanted the challenge, the drama, the chance to be part of something on the rise, not something that's already been built. The Fever weren't offering her a seat on a championship train. They handed her a hammer and said, help us finish this. And honestly, that makes perfect sense. If there's anyone who thrives on being underestimated, it's Sydney Colson. The woman spent years proving she's not just a locker room presence or a social media star, but a legit hooper who can make a difference on the court. Now, she's got the chance to do it with a team that's hungry, scrappy, and, if you ask her, absolutely ready.
She said it's a much easier transition now they have a year under their belts together, which would be scary. I'll be interested to be up close and personal with Caitlin and see what it's like day to day. And yeah, like that's the thing where it's like, this team goes where Caitlin goes. Like, I think everyone kind of knows that, where it's like, even last year with the team, when Caitlin didn't play well, they only beat the dream.
Colson isn't done yet. While Caitlin Clark gets the spotlight, Colson reminds everyone this isn't a one-woman show. The Fever already have young stars like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Nalissa Smith. And now they've added even more talent. This team is different, she says, confidently predicting their future success. How? They're done being the should-win team. The Fever are entering this season with a villainous edge, ready to prove they should have been taken seriously before. Colson's bold attitude, humor, and charisma make her the perfect fit for a squad with something to prove. She'll talk, stir things up, and back it up.
It was just an exciting opportunity. My time with the Aces was wonderful, and we created history in a lot of ways. And they'll always be my Aces family, and I'll miss those fans and everything. But I felt God was leading me in another direction, and sometimes stuff can feel uncomfortable, but you not necessarily feeling like you're ready to take a step back. But I think that's usually when you need to. So that was what I needed to do. Now that was Sydney Colson, man.
Sydney Colson didn't just join the Fever. She's all in on the chaos. The underdog story is about to become a nightmare for the league. And if you're not paying attention yet, you will soon. Colson keeps cranking it up, talking smack and backing it up. This time, she's got a lot to say about Caitlin Clark, the Fever's veteran moves, and how they're setting Clark up to become a league-wide nightmare.
They went up and snatched Sid Colson from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup for Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic. Backup for Kelsey. Like, she is a great addition to this backcourt. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience. She is the most fun ever.
Caitlin Clark enters the WNBA with huge expectations, but Colson isn't worried. She made it clear that Clark won't be alone in this. The WNBA is tougher than college, and no one's giving Clark an easy ride. Colson emphasized that having experienced players around Clark is key, and they're not just guiding her, they're changing the culture. While the Fever showed promise last season, this year, with veteran leadership, they're ready to win and push the young players beyond just improvement.
Hopefully y'all remember how fantastic Sydney Colson was in the 2023 WNBA Finals. That's what Sydney Colson can offer. Yes, Sydney Colson did not play a lot of minutes with the Aces, but she could have. The thing that I love about Sydney Colson is that she's all fun and games. She's all silly. She's all enjoying her time. She is a boatload of fun. That is the life of the party right there. But when it comes to playing, when it comes to locking in and getting all set for the game, Sydney Colson's all business. Yeah, she could be silly and whatnot, but when she step on that court, she's business, right? Inside those lines, she is all about her goal, which her goal is to play some really good defense and take care of the ball. And that's what she does. And that's exactly why the Indiana Fever has signed Sydney Colson. Because yes, she is a great locker room fit, but also when you talk about someone who can play defense, that's something that the Indiana...
Caitlin Clark will be great, but she'll be even better with her squad, including Colson, who doesn't downplay her own greatness. Colson's part of a Fever team stacking weapons and building confidence, ready to make noise in the WNBA. Aces fans, however, weren't happy when Colson signed with the Fever. Aces Twitter exploded with words like betrayal as the Fever kept adding talent, turning a rebuild into a full-on takeover mission. Aces fans were not handling it well.
The Fever better get a ring with this because Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, Sydney Colson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision.
A'ja Wilson tried to keep it together, but after a season of poor team chemistry, she admitted, "We didn't play our best." The real shock came when she said, "We had some things going on," hinting at locker room issues. With Colson leaving soon after, fans quickly connected the dots, and the drama unfolded. Was Colson the problem, or did she just leave at the right time? Theories are flying. Some say the Aces were already falling apart, and Colson made her exit perfectly. Others believe she was the glue holding the team together. Either way, the Aces were spiraling, and Vegas fans weren't happy. Meanwhile, Fever fans were watching, and Colson? She was in Indiana, likely enjoying the chaos, knowing she always lands on her feet.
What's up, fans? Sydney Colson here. Super excited to be in Indy. Cannot wait to see y'all in Cambridge. See you soon.
For months, Sheryl Swoopes and other critics of Caitlin Clark have claimed that no one wants to play for the Indiana Fever. However, earlier this week, two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson arrived in Indiana with a powerful message that completely debunked that narrative.
I'm super excited about it. I'm going from a team that was a very in the media, like people are excited to watch us, into another team that is arguably the most talked about team in sports right now, especially in women's sports. So this fan base, it's exciting to be a part of a team that has a lot of positive energy around it.
From the instant she showcased her new Fever jersey to her energetic presence at the Pacers game, Colson's debut with the team was a bold rebuttal to those who had questioned the franchise. What she shared at her press conference might be the most compelling defense of Caitlin Clark we've heard from a veteran player to date.
Oh, girl, I'm gonna put on some other clothes. Oh, dope. I'm like, I thought I saw a reflection when I was coming across the street. I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, what up, baby? How are you? Long time no see. It's been a month.
Remember when Sheryl Swoopes said nobody wants to play for the Fever? Sydney Colson just shattered that narrative. From the moment she arrived in Indiana, the atmosphere changed. A viral video showed teammates and staff eagerly welcoming her with real excitement. This wasn't a PR stunt, but a genuine, heartfelt embrace.
Hey! Hi!
Hi.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Lexi, what's up, baby?
Oh, it's good to see you.
You too. How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's up, baby?
How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. What up, babe?
Who let you in here?
Man, how are you? Good to see you.
What up, Sydney?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
I heard bad things about you from
Horrible. Horrible. You know me.
Oh, Jesus, right there. Oh, geez.
How you doing? I'm
How you
Daniel.
doing? I'm Sydney.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Already met? Okay, we're all grown up.
What makes this moment even more impactful is the stark contrast to the harsh criticism from Swoopes and other detractors, who claimed veterans would avoid playing with Caitlin Clark. The footage tells a completely different story, one of unity and excitement for what lies ahead.
The jersey. Aww. Dope. Yes. It's so weird to see yourself in new colors. I love it. I love it. I love it. What's this?
Definitely they sent you a fever. So they want to make sure you had one.
When Sydney first saw her new Fever jersey, her pride and excitement were unmistakable. Holding it up with a big smile, she showed genuine love for the team's colors, marking the start of a new chapter and an exciting opportunity in Indiana. Her interactions with the Fever staff were just as telling, with General Manager Amber Cox confidently saying, "I think she's going to bring a lot of joy to our lives this season."
She was somebody we targeted really, really early to come in and play that backup point guard role. We have ultimate faith and trust in her. In any situation that we put her in, she's going to be able to lead our team. And obviously, you know, great personality as well, brings a lot of fun and levity to the locker room. Again, that experience, knows when we need which side, right? Like the serious, the tough veteran leadership versus the, you know, fun, playful Sid. So I think she's going to bring a lot of joy to all of our lives this season.
Sydney's instant chemistry with everyone highlights the positive culture the Fever are building, directly countering the negative narratives from some former players. Her arrival video quickly went viral, racking up thousands of likes and retweets as fans embraced her genuine excitement. This authentic connection only makes the critics' claims seem more out of touch.
I think when we set out in free agency, it was to bring in veteran leadership, and we've done that. Players who have had deep playoff runs, we've done that. You look at a player like Sydney Colson, coming off what she's been able to do in Vegas, dating back to her, championship in Texas A&M. She's a winner, knows how to win, knows how to play a role. So she was somebody we targeted really early, but, you know, just looking down the line in free agency, just really excited. When the plan comes together, you feel really good about it. Again, it looks great on paper. We got to get everybody on the court, but overall, really excited about the roster.
Sydney didn't just show up for the cameras. Her first workout with the Fever proved exactly why they targeted her from the start. She brought elite commitment, displaying her skills and infectious energy, underscoring the value of her veteran presence. This wasn't a reluctant player joining a team. This was someone eager to dive in.
A lot of things. It was Amber and Kelly, Stephanie, Kelsey I played with at Athletes Unlimited for several years. Love Caitlin's game, love Aaliyah's game. It made sense. I made this decision mentally before DB and Natasha were even a part of the mix. And so all the new additions, Breezy, Sophie, it's gonna be a fun season. And
what makes Sydney's arrival even more significant is the timing. She chose the Fever before stars like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner signed. This wasn't following the crowd. She wanted to be in Indiana, regardless of who else joined. Critics who claimed veterans would avoid the Fever now have some explaining to do. Sydney's excitement proves the negative narrative around Clark and the franchise wrong.
All right, switching gears now, we are looking forward to a new season for the Indiana Fever, now less than 2 months away. And today we formally introduced the team, I should say, formally introduced its newest player.
Yes, so here she is. This is guard Sydney Colson. She is joining the Fever following 3 seasons with the Las Vegas Aces. That is where she helped the team win back-to-back WNBA titles in 2022 and 23.
Critics were wrong not only about Sydney joining Indiana, but also about what she'd say once she got there. At her first press conference, instead of giving a neutral response about Caitlin Clark, Sydney's words sent shockwaves through the basketball world.
So listen to what Colson had to say today when asked what she is hoping to bring to the Fever.
The Indiana Fever press room was electric, with journalists packed in and cameras poised, all waiting to see if the veteran champion would confirm the narrative that established players resented Clark's spotlight. The tension was thick in the air.
What was it like to watch what Caitlin did for this franchise from afar? Different perspective.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you're seeing a team that's now affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country, maybe even to see games. And so that's special.
You've been studying.
Huh?
You've been studying those studies.
Yeah, man, I try to pay attention, but no, it's been cool to see. Caitlin's a remarkable player. She's going to be good here for a long time, so I know people are excited about, her future here.
The moment the reporter asked the question everyone had been waiting for, what Sydney truly thought about Clark's impact on Indianapolis and the WNBA, it was like time stood still. You could almost hear a pin drop as the room fell into silence, all eyes on her. Without missing a beat, Sydney answered with raw sincerity, her voice tinged with awe. Then, she dropped the game-changing words that shattered the critics' narrative in an instant. It was nuts.
Thank you. I can't wait to give this to my girlfriend.
You don't have a girlfriend, Mike.
If you thought Caitlin Clark was simply a deadly sharpshooter with an intense, competitive spirit, think again. She's also a comedy mastermind. From roasting her teammates to delivering perfect one-liners and pulling off surprising antics, Clark knows how to keep the laughs coming. Now, let's dive into 10 of Caitlin Clark's funniest moments that had everyone in stitches. Kicking things off is the time Caitlin Clark made an appearance on SNL's Weekend Update. What made this moment so funny and entertaining was that Caitlin came fully prepared with her own jokes written down. It was a hilarious scene, giving the audience and fans a chance to see her comedic side. Michael also delivered an absolutely perfect introduction to Clark, adding to the laughter.
The University of Iowa announced that basketball star Caitlin Clark will have her jersey retired and replaced with an apron. Well, the WNBA draft is this Monday, and Iowa star Caitlin Clark is expected to be the #1 pick. Here to comment is Caitlin Clark.
The audience absolutely loved having Clark in the spotlight, and things got even funnier when Caitlin Clark fired back at Michael's earlier joke by asking him to read some of the jokes she had written herself. The exchange took the humor to a whole new level.
This year, Caitlin Clark broke the record for three-pointers in a single season, and I have 3 pointers for Michael Che. 1B2. 2 funnier, 3
To wrap up the segment, Caitlin Clark took it up a notch by handing Michael an apron, a nod to his earlier joke when he introduced her to the show. The timing was perfect, and she even took the opportunity to roast Michael a little more, adding another layer of comedy to the moment.
Since you're such a big fan, I brought you a souvenir. It's an apron signed by me.
Thank you. I can't wait to give this to my girlfriend.
You don't have a girlfriend, Mike.
Caitlin Clark, everybody!
At this point, the crowd was absolutely roaring with laughter. The whole exchange only added to the humor, showcasing just how funny and entertaining Caitlin Clark really is. Moving on to number 2, aside from those times when she came prepared with jokes, Clark has had plenty of moments where she cracked a joke off the cuff, leaving everyone in stitches with her spontaneous humor. Like that one time, she tried to make a wordplay joke about cheetahs.
Caitlin, pits of your soul, you're a comedian. Do you have any updated jokes for me?
Why don't they take tests at the zoo? There's too many cheetahs.
What made it even funnier was the way the reporter just stood there, totally dazed and amused, while Clark couldn't help but laugh and smile, fully aware of how mischievous and hilarious the moment was. Now, moving on to number 3, Caitlin Clark doesn't keep her jokes limited to interviews. She's also a pro at the friendly roast. During one interview, the WNBA star was on the court when the reporter decided to test their own shooting skills.
I think you have to go now. Come on. Let's see if you can get it there.
Two more. You know what? I have no legs, so I can come in here.
I feel confident. Let's see.
I'm wearing this jacket.
Oh.
Ugh,
That's
terrible.
not bad. Get it there.
Oh my God.
You gotta jump.
Even though Clark tried to be supportive, she just couldn't help but laugh and throw in a few playful jabs. And when the reporter tried to blame his terrible shooting on his dress clothes and the tight rims, Caitlin wasn't about to let him off the hook that easily.
Tight rims, I'm telling you.
No, I think that might just be you, honestly.
This moment just made Clark even more lovable thanks to her hilarious personality. Coming in at number 4, another unforgettable moment that had everyone buzzing about Caitlin Clark's mischievous side was her visit to a goat petting zoo with her teammates. Watching Clark feed the baby goats quickly turned into pure entertainment, and naturally, she turned the whole thing into her own personal comedy show.
All right, relax. Everybody don't fight over me. Don't fight over me, okay? Wait, I don't remember who I bet.
Fans love seeing Caitlin and her teammates bond over something other than basketball. But the real comedy came from the fans themselves, who couldn't resist making the perfect joke, the goat feeding goats. Now, halfway through at number 5, Caitlin Clark's easygoing and cheerful nature really shines when she's around her teammates, both on and off the court. Her bond with Lexi Hull is especially fun to watch. One particularly funny moment happened during an interview when Lexi was answering a question, only for Caitlin to interrupt with a burst of childish laughter at something Lexi said.
What was your intent there to try to make an impact as well as you did tonight?
Thank you. I would say that's kind of my role.
Respectful.
Caitlin Clark's reaction to Lexi Hull's innocent comment had the entire room in stitches.
And take advantage of that. Caitlin? Yeah. What are we doing? Oh, Lord.
Coming in at number 6, Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull's dynamic duo wasn't just reserved for the court. The two had fans cracking up once again when they pulled up to a Swig drive-thru to grab some fruit and soda drinks.
Playing with vanilla cream instead of coconut cream. Can I have the beach babe too, please?
What made this even more interesting was that Clark was immediately recognized. But when the friendly lady asked if she was really Caitlin Clark, Clark responded with a mischievous grin.
You're Caitlin Clark, right? Maybe.
After being recognized, the owner gifted them golden mugs, guaranteeing them free refills whenever they came back.
Golden mug I want to give you. Golden mug means every time you come through Swig, you just get a free refill.
He said he was going to give us golden mugs. So we'll be back. Yeah.
At number 7, one thing that stands out about Caitlin Clark is how her teammates not only recognize her playful side, but also encourage it. Of course, sometimes they have to step in to keep her focused, like that time during warm-ups when Katie Lou got the best of Clark, locking in a submission and making her tap out. The whole team couldn't stop laughing. This was a hilarious moment that perfectly captured the fun and bond the team shares. Caitlin later opened up about it, admitting that she can be a bit of a child sometimes with how playful she gets.
You know, she's just she's a kid sometimes, and keeps everything light, but sometimes you just gotta put her in place.
Coming in at number 8, Caitlin Clark's humor isn't confined to basketball. She can turn anything into a comedy show. In one unforgettable moment, Lexi Hull caught Clark delivering a full play-by-play commentary on a Philly baseball game.
And that ball's hit to the shortstop. Rojas throws it over to first base, and that's not going to be enough.
The video quickly went viral, perfectly capturing how effortlessly hilarious and entertaining Clark can be. Watching her switch from WNBA star to baseball commentator had fans in stitches.
The Phillies leading 1-0. We'll be back in a minute with a 30-second break.
It was such a viral moment that it even landed Clark an invitation.
The Phillies have taken her up on her offer to broadcast a game.
At number 9, Caitlin Clark's humor isn't just for her teammates. It extends to her family and friends as well. A perfect example of this is her hilarious moments with her boyfriend, Connor. The two have shared some truly funny interactions.
I just want to sleep for like 3 weeks straight after the season's over.
You want to sleep for 3 weeks straight during the season, too?
That too. I love sleeping. It's awesome.
The thing about Caitlin is how she'll enthusiastically praise and appreciate Connor for being supportive. But she doesn't hesitate to throw friendly jabs at him, even during interviews. Like that time she casually mentioned that in a shooting competition, she outshoots him every time.
Having some shooting competitions, it gets a little heated. I definitely outshoot him way more than he outshoots me, but he tries to think otherwise.
And finally, at number 10, Caitlin Clark's playful and competitive spirit isn't just for her teammates and friends. It shines through in her family moments too. Her close bond with her family is filled with hilarious exchanges, but one of the best was when she got fouled and started complaining about it, only for her dad to shut it down with a classic, stop complaining response.
Move, and if they're open, she will find them. Martin commits the foul.
And that wraps up our list of Caitlin Clark's funniest moments. From her sharp wit to her playful antics, she never fails to entertain, both on and off the court. Whether she's cracking jokes, roasting teammates, or turning everyday moments into comedy gold, Caitlin proves she's not just a basketball star, she's a natural entertainer. If you enjoyed this compilation, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fun and unforgettable Caitlin Clark moments.
Like for real. I feel like I'm like in a little bit of a dream, but it's just super dope, super cool. I don't know if I ever seen myself on like this many billboards and pictures, so this is really good. Oh, now it's really real, huh? This is dope. Okay. I gotta get used to 2.5. This is my first time.
Something unexpected went down in Indiana, and it's shaking the WNBA to its core. No big press conferences, no spotlight, no orchestrated moments, just a quiet entrance that has the league scrambling to figure out what's next.
On the court, Bonner bangs him home. Bonner, the logo 3 at the shot clock. Now needed the scheme.
Bonner makes her career best.
Bonner hits the 3.
Bonner launches over Sabally, got the 3.
DeWanna Bonner, two-time WNBA champion, future Hall of Famer and one of the most respected vets in the game, made her way into Indiana without a hint of drama. No waiting around. And where did she go first? Right to the gym. Her work ethic is impeccable. She is exactly the type of player that the Indiana Fever needed.
Similar to what DB said about the competitive fire you all had the moment you had in the playoffs last year, all those things, how do you think your competitive fire can mesh with hers?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You want your teammates to be just as competitive as you are. So I think training camp's going to be really fun. That's when you're competing live. You know, you're getting after things. Coaches are figuring out what lineups work, what lineups don't. So I think it's more so like the drive of pushing your teammates to get better. And I think that's exactly what she speaks to when she talks about her leadership. Like, that's going to push all of us to get better when you can see a vet like that come in here and want to get better every single day still. You know, year 12 plus, whatever they are in their career. That's inspiring. That motivates you to want to be better too, but just exciting.
But waiting for her wasn't a coach, an agent, or a front office exec. It was no other than Caitlin Clark. Clearly the main reason DeWanna joined the team, so she was excited to see her.
Thank you very much. That's what 6'5" would do for you. Pick up, rebound, back Finlay. Futility from 3 for the Sparks. Over there, Fag Finlay comes up with it. Here's Clark and Trent, leaves it behind for... There's just 1 of 5. They go threes.
Yeah, they do. Nice.
The rookie sensation, the once-in-a-generation talent, the player every team in the league has been scrambling to figure out.
South Carolina players in this game, by the way.
Sure do.
Tiffany Mitchell, Alicia Gray.
South Carolina players in this game? Tiffany Mitchell, Alicia Gray, and the big question lingering? Why? Why would a battle-tested veteran skip the usual welcome parties to hit the gym with a rookie? This wasn't just a workout. This was a message to let everyone in the league know that they are coming prepared for the new upcoming season. And if you think this is just another off-season move, brace yourself for a rude awakening. The Indiana Fever has something big planned up their sleeve. The WNBA is on the verge of a major shift, and the Indiana Fever is right in the middle of it. This season is just getting started, and you won't want to miss a single moment.
What's up, Fever fans? DB here. So happy to be here. So excited. I'll see you guys in May.
No welcome parade, no PR stunt, no fluff. DeWanna Bonner didn't come to Indiana for the media circus. She came for one thing: business. A two-time WNBA champion, a future Hall of Famer, and one of the game's most respected veterans. But instead of basking in the spotlight or making a dramatic entrance, she went straight to the gym.
I'm just happy that I can still be a part of it. I'm happy that I'm still wanted, you know, in different organizations and have the free agency that I had. And I'm coming to probably one of the best fan bases in the world right now, so I'm pretty honored to.
No cameras, no distractions, just pure focus. That's not a casual arrival. That's a message. When a player of Bonner's caliber bypasses the theatrics and heads straight to work, it's clear she's got unfinished business. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Bonner isn't stepping into Indiana as the face of the franchise. She's not here to demand the ball, dominate games, or make a statement. She's taking on a role most superstars would avoid, a supporting piece to an already budding young core.
I'm coming to probably one of the best fan bases in the world right now.
That's almost unheard of in professional basketball, where ego usually collides with team chemistry. But for Bonner, this isn't about status, it's about strategy. She sees something special in this Indiana squad, and she knows exactly how to take it to the next level.
The way they came back the second game, it just makes you excited to, okay, I want to be a part of that. They didn't lay down and quit. They came back and actually try to beat us early, that next game. So it just shows a lot about their character and how hungry they are. And
her first move in a Fever uniform made one thing obvious. She's here to win, and she's not wasting a second. She's linking up with the player poised to redefine the league, Caitlin Clark. This isn't just mentorship, it's about building chemistry, trust, and ensuring Indiana isn't just competitive, but dominant.
Time and his third, currently 5 catchings for second.
Time and again, Bonner's message is simple. Clark doesn't need someone to shape her. She's already built for this moment. That's what makes this move so dangerous for the rest of the WNBA. Because if you thought Bonner was just here to mentor Clark, think again. She's here to partner up, to sharpen her, to elevate her. And if that playoff battle was any sign, these two aren't just going to coexist, they're going to dominate. Let's be real. DeWanna Bonner could have gone anywhere. Teams lined up, contenders made their pitches. She had the leverage to choose a championship-ready roster. But she chose Indiana, a team still finding its stride, a franchise that, just a couple years ago, was an afterthought in the playoff hunt. That's not just a decision, that's a statement. A player of her caliber doesn't make a move like this unless she sees something the rest of the world hasn't caught on to yet.